Busy day in the studio, I swear it is, and I'm tired of hearing myself talk. Sometimes you sick of hearing yourself talk. But a busy day, we talked about dumbass Dabo Sweeney. He's out here virtue signaling for no reason, talking about guys in the portal aren't good enough to play for Clemson, but then tells on himself later on in the article, Clemson's broke. They don't have money to pay difference makers, or the NIL is pretty much sad and falling apart. Then we went to the NBA where we talked about another dumbass dude in David Zaslav. His only accomplishment was bringing Warner Brother Television and the Discovery Channel together in a merger, but then he successfully stuck his foot in his mouth in 2022 when he asked, did we really need the NBA? Well, $2.5 billion says yes, you do. And now you got to take it up the ass, champ. And we wanted to jump to the association where Coach K is on these internet streets begging Jenny Buss for a job for JJ Redick, a guy who has no NBA coaching experience whatsoever. He's only coached his 9-year-old son's travel ball team. He's yet interviewed for multiple jobs over the past 2 years. There have been no takers. JJ, it's after a while, it's you. It's not them. Then we talked about agents stealing from clients and how the media turns a blind eye to it, but then they want to sit here and tell the athlete who basically died and giving his life for his means. You can't spend that kind of money. You're having reckless spending. Shut your jealous, racist ass up. If you jealous of a guy because he walks in a room and nobody pays attention to you, you need to do some more soul searching. Sit your weak ass down. Talk about these thieves out here. Talk about these people stealing from these damn kids. Since it's all about protecting kids. That's what I thought. That's just what I thought. Anyway, we'll be back when we take a quick 15 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at Ab Stupid. Drop the spot. Yes, Ghostface Killer is out right now. Set the Tone, Guns N' Roses. It's one of my favorite albums. It is one of my favorite albums. And it's really been a bright spot because it was a lot. I listen to hip hop music. No shade to any other genre. I was raised on hip hop. And so when the goods and the guys come out, I gotta go ahead and stick with what got me here. So yeah, Ghostface was sick. I love the 6 minutes with Jim Jones and Sheik Luch. Pair of hammers, him and Method Man, Scar Tissue, him and Nas, No Face, him and Ye, Yup with Remy Ma. I mean, I love every bit of this Ghostface Killer album. It is our pick of the month. Hip hop album dropped. Make sure you go ahead and get you a copy. All right, so we want to go ahead and close this with Jeremiah Smith. He's the best wide receiver you've never heard of. Ohio State, they think so. Also, here's why. So, in the class of 2024, there's nobody that has higher expectations than Ohio State's freshman Jeremiah Smith. 6'3", 200 pounds. And he's out of Chaminade, Madonna Prep, and Opelika, Florida. That's a whole lot of saying. He led his team to a perfect 14-0 record and a third consecutive state title and put in some insane numbers while doing so. 88 receptions, 1,376 yards, and 19 touchdowns in 2023. The Buckeye signee became the first wide receiver to be ranked as the number 1 overall recruit in 24/7 rankings since 24/7 Sports started them in 2010. He's every bit of a generational prospect. This may be Ohio State's secret weapon, I've covered the Buckeyes extensively. Again, I'm a Big Ten guy. I live in the Midwest. So, like I say, I am going to always talk about Big Ten football first, and then we'll go ahead and get to the other conferences. But if you've been following the channel, I've talked about the moves in this offseason that Ohio State has done. Really haven't covered the spring game because I got a life, but some of the pieces out there on the board, I tell you who's out there and why you can expect to see some dynamic football in the fall. I don't care how small the conference is because you all have seen me cover the Mountain West. And I think back this way, I'm probably the only person in the Midwest covering the Mountain West and telling you the guys who are the pedigree out there in that conference. Andrew Ivins, the director of scouting for 24/7 Sports, says he's got ready-to-play size to go along with top-flight athleticism and an advanced feel for the position, and he's a great pro-like mindset. Okay. When looking at Ohio State's receivers in 2023, you'll see that Marvin Harrison Jr., 67 receptions, and Emeka Egbuka, 41, were the only receivers to have more than 40 receptions. Heisman finalist Harrison Jr. led the Buckeyes with 67 and 1,211 yards receiving and 14 touchdown receptions last year. But even a four-star ranked recruit and eventual number 4 overall pick with the draft like Harrison caught 11 balls and 139 yards and 3 scores as his freshman year. I'm not saying anything bad about Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a stud. That dude plays above the rim. He plays above the rim. Ohio State's killer run of receivers recruiting from the most part means that even the nation's best talent is forced to have a quiet freshman year. Unlike others on the below list, he's going to be a starter from the jump. So that's what's going to make the difference in this, is that he's got the size and he's got the ready-like mindset. He's not going to sit the bench. I mean, Marvin Harrison came in. Marvin had to kind of follow the chain of command. This dude is breaking the mold. And if he's breaking the mold early with Chip Kelly as that offensive coordinator, this thing can get out of control very fast. They can dial up packages to get this guy out in space. And if he throws you a move and he's able to beat you out of your, oh my God, I don't want to think about it. Ohio State wants to win the Big Ten and make a run at the national championship this year. I've talked about it. I've talked about everybody they have, from Aaron Nord down in Georgia to Caleb Sand, who was the number 1 transfer in the portal when Nick Saban had retired suddenly from Alabama. I've talked about Chip Kelly when he left UCLA and Deshaun Foster had taken over, and they put Eric B. in UCLA again. Eric B. is out there. He's going to dial up some exciting stuff. It's just a good time to be a Big Ten guy. It's a great time to be a Big Ten guy right now. L.C. Smith exceed first-year performances of Marvin Harrison, Ime Egbuka, and Julian Fleming. That's the kind of class and rare air they're putting this guy in. He's in that conversation as a freshman. He may have 2 to 3 years before you're talking about he is hands down in that Randy Moss conversation. He's hands down in that Megatron. Calvin Johnson? And some of the kids don't even know who Megatron is. But that guy, if you're listening to me and you don't know who Calvin Johnson is, your homework between here and the next time you hear my voice is go look at those highlights. From Georgia Tech all the way to Detroit. Nobody was stopping that dude. Nobody. You throw it up, he go get it. That's the end of the story. That's it. That's all. But Buckeye Nation, how do you feel? How do you feel about everything? Hopefully, you're kind of pumped up. Well, that's the show for today. I'm glad everybody enjoyed themselves. I always do. Take care of yourself. I love you all. I'll be back with more content this week. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Drop the spots, man.